You know that you've reached big man status when even Daryl looks at you and says, "You are one tough sumbitch, even if you're 74 years old." What is up, YouTube? It is Joker777, and I am back with another review for you guys this week, and this time we are reviewing The Walking Dead's latest episode, Internment. Now, I like this episode a lot, and the reason why I say that is because, number one, there was some tense moments in it, but number two, it's about one of my favorite characters. He's probably my second favorite character on the show. It's Herschel. And this is basically the episode where, you know, it's after Herschel has basically locked himself inside the quarantine zone really to take care of people. And this is one of the reasons why I love Herschel. Herschel, it seems like he's kind of like that intermediary in the group. He's always the voice of reason. Whenever people are just freaking out, like for example, whenever Rick, you know, lost Lori to the most gruesome circumstances he could ever lose him to, if you notice, Herschel was kind of the one that kind of basically brought him back to his sane side, so that way he would stop flipping out, he stopped seeing things, and he stopped, you know, being Rick, basically. So this episode was mainly about Herschel and basically what he's doing to kind of help out the people in the prison. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the first part. The second part is when things heated up whenever one of the people basically turned and Herschel didn't, you know, Herschel was helping someone else, so he didn't see him turn. They bit someone, and before you know it, there's an outbreak in the quarantine zone, and Herschel and Lizzie and Glenn and Sasha are the only ones basically who are trying to fight this off. So out of this episode, I have gained so much more respect for Herschel. I've gained even more respect than I had in the beginning for him. Because he basically showed that when push comes to shove, he can kill. And this is really the first episode where we've actually seen him kill a walker. And it kind of messes him up. You can really tell, because in the end, when he goes to pick up his Bible to read it, he's basically sitting in the cell with the one doctor. I can't remember the name of the doctor, but he had to end up killing the doctor. That was his first like walker kill that I've seen on the show. And so it really messes with him. And as a matter of fact, he sits in the room where he killed the doctor and he tries to read his Bible, but he's just so messed up. Then, in the midst of all this God, I almost said it again, travesty, Glenn basically collapses to the ground. At this point, Maggie has heard the gunshot that was going off in the quarantine zone, so she rushes in to see if her dad's alright. She finds Glenn laying on the ground choking on either his own blood or something like that, and he's about to die. Like, he's like this close to dying. Until finally Herschel comes up and he gives him the respirator and saves his life. That was a very tense moment because Glenn has basically been a staple since episode, like, I think it was like 1 or 2. He's been in every single episode since then. And to see Glenn almost die, that was kind of a tense moment because for Glenn, a lot of people, it's his favorite character. He's also the luckiest Joker on the show because he gets to hook up with Maggie every single episode, so anyway. And we also see something else. We see Carl and Rick do a zombie team-up, which is great. That was awesome. You know, basically the zombies basically break down the fence where they're trying to fortify them. Rick and Carl are the only ones outside, and Rick and Carl take 2 M16s or AR-15s. I couldn't tell what they were. They're basically, you know, just assault rifles. And they basically just end up killing like so many zombies. It was so great. It was awesome. And really the whole last half of the episode was really like that. It was basically one big giant zombie slaying. And it was really seeing Herschel kind of develop after he makes really his first kill. This is the first time we've seen Herschel kill a walker. And I know that seems like really a point you can't kind of emphasize, but you have to look at who Herschel is, and when you see what all he's been through with his family, the fact that he wasn't killing walkers, he was putting them in his barn, and just the feeling that he has for humanity and how he tries to see the good in people to where he doesn't want to kill them. But in the end, he had to do what he had to do. I have gained so much more respect for Herschel after this episode. The pace was very fast-paced. I thought it was a great episode. And a little bit of spoiler for here at the end. That's right. He's back. The governor's back. They pan out because basically this whole sickness plotline is over. Daryl has returned with the meds. He calls Herschel a tough sumbitch because Herschel is a tough sumbitch. Point taken. But the governor is back. Yes, so the whole sickness plotline is over. The governor's back. Now I'm wondering what's going to happen because basically the governor's out on his own. But don't ever count the governor out. This is one cold-hearted son of a gun, and I'm excited to see where they go with this. So, final thoughts on the episode. The first half was very slow to build up, but the last half was simply zombie killing paradise. And like I said, I've gained so much more respect for Herschel out of this episode. I think the guy who plays Herschel is a fantastic actor. I couldn't look up his name, I forgot to, but this guy definitely deserves a lot more praise than he gets. So, that being said, I'm actually going to give this episode either a B plus or an A minus. That's right, it was that good of an episode. I really enjoyed it. So, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. As always, do what you do. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And let me know if you're excited to see, now that the governor is back, basically what's going to happen. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm Joker777, and I'll see you guys later.